Hey, hey, hey. Good evening, everybody. It's your girl, Candrea Fione, coming to you. It's been a while since I've been on here. Been going through some life up and downs lately, so I'm back and just wanted to share with you guys some notes that I took down after reading a very good article by an author named Brigette Hyacinth. She's the original author of The Future of Leadership and Rise of Automation, Robotics, and Artificial Intelligence. How everybody in YouTube? Thank you guys for joining. Thanks for watching. So I'm doing a broadcast right now. Just wanted to come on here and share some of my notes that I got out of reading this article and talk about the 10 important career lessons most people learn too late in life. Okay? Again, this article was written by Brigette Hyacinth. So let's get right to it. Um, so I wrote down some notes after reading the article that I felt I wanted to share with my followers. And something that we can all use a little help with in our life journey is in some of these tips. She basically wrote about how to achieve success. You have to make big sacrifices. Okay, and she's basically saying don't make sacrifices on a permanent basis because there's more to life than just chasing after success, which is what a lot of us want slip up and do. We think that we always have to be in chase mode when it comes to being successful. She's basically saying you must make sacrifices, but it should be for the short term. Okay. And you should also be able to enjoy the fruits of your labor. So I thought that was pretty interesting and deep. If you're not enjoying the fruits of your labor, where you're generally happy and satisfied, then you may be doing the wrong things and maybe in the wrong field. If that makes sense. So I'm going to go over some of these notes, the 10 lessons that she described that people seem to learn late in life. Okay? So the first lesson is don't stay in a job that you hate, which I can definitely agree with that one. You spend half of your life at work. And what she's basically saying in this article is life is too short to put up with a job that you actually hate or even deal with a boss that treats you poorly. And actually, I just want to add, you shouldn't be dealing with anybody these days that treats you poorly. I don't care if it's your boss, your mate, a family member, a friend. If they treat you bad, why are you even dealing with them? You shouldn't be putting up with that at all. Okay. Another thing she says is, spending too much time in a bad situation will make you miserable and it can affect your health. It can bring out a lot of unnecessary stress and other health risks in your body just from dealing with a bad situation. And if you're in this situation, you want to start taking small steps to where you want to actually be. It doesn't have to be huge, moves. Just take small steps. Many people convince themselves that they can stay in a job that makes them unhappy because they need the income or because they just don't believe that they can find a better job. You have to realize that you do deserve better. And I did that ago when I was unhappy somewhere where I was working and decided to become my own boss and, work for myself. And I feel like it was the best decision I ever made. Okay. So that's the first lesson that she says people tend to learn too late in life. And the second one is you want to take care of yourself. Never sacrifice your health for success or wealth. For an example, working nonstop, working all the time, working a lot of overtime, always being plugged in. You're just plugged in all the time, not taking time for you, and never taking a break, never taking vacation. Okay? You have to vacation, you have to take breaks and recoup, so to speak. Our bodies aren't machines, and you can't just keep going and going and going and going 24/7. You will have a time where your body will force you to just calm down and chill. So you don't want to even put yourself in that situation. The light can always be green. It can't. See, a lot of people can always be in green mode, but it can't always be green. Okay. If you don't slow down, eventually you'll come to a red light and just have to make a complete stop. Okay. And then you want to stop taking your health for granted. A lot of people do that. No amount of success or money can replace your health ever. I don't care. Okay. Even wealthy people, you're not going to enjoy that wealth and that money if you are sick all the time or stressed or can't even, do things for yourself. Okay. So I thought that was a good tip. And I wrote these notes down because I'm going to really study these notes and make these a part of my daily life as well. Um, now, so there was a quote that I like by Jim Rohn. It says, "Take care of your body. It's the place you have to live." That's by Jim Rohn. Okay. So the third lesson is take time to listen. And listening is a great time and money saver. And so a lot of people are always replying, listening to reply instead of to understand. You have to take the time to listen. And it's a great, there's some benefits to listening, like solving a host of problems when you just listen. It brings a lot of creativity, it gives insights, um, shows people that you care. When you're talking and conversating with somebody and you're just listening, it makes them feel like you really care about what they're saying. It's crucial for gaining a complete understanding of any situation. Okay, it helps address the root cause of a symptom or a problem. So challenge yourself. Hi, thanks for joining on YouTube. So challenge yourself to make a concerted effort to listen more than you speak, and you'll see and reap the benefits when you listen more than you speak. Okay, so I got some more notes here from Bridget's article. The fourth lesson she mentions is rejection and failure will strengthen you. So basically, failure is not the end. If you fail at something, it's not the end. Although it leaves a sour taste, failures are pillars for success. Look at it like that. It's all about the experiences that you gain. Okay. Learning how to deal with your rejection plummets you into a place of immobilizing despair. Okay. So sometimes rejection hurts, but don't dwell on it or give it energy for too long. If that makes sense. Okay. You want to always try to focus on positive thinking when you fail at something. Just try to think positive, stay positive. The fifth lesson is don't let money or your job title define you. I'm going to say that again. Don't let the money or your job title define you. Most people define success around money or fame, like getting their own self-worth from these. They basically feel like their own self-worth comes from these things. This gives money too much power over your life when you think like that. Realize that these things could be lust in an instant. It's time for you to redefine success if you are thinking this way. And how do you do that? Well, you want to enter the race you're designed to run. You have to enter into the race that you feel like you're designed to run, and you want to focus on a higher purpose. What is your higher purpose in this situation? And you'll bring out the best in yourself, and you'll also bring out the best in others. Okay? And then you want to use your gifts and your talents in the service or servicing of others, which brings when you do that, when you use your gift to service others, you will then bring a life with lasting fulfillment. See, we were put here to serve others, and we all were given special gifts and talents that only you can do and no one else. And you're supposed to use that in service, not to your own advantage. The sixth lesson that she mentioned was you want to surround yourself with people who will motivate you and push you to grow. Teamwork and networking is key. Okay, that's vital. If you're trying to be successful in anything you do, you have to be able to have a little bit of teamwork in you. So part of your success is dependent on the people that you surround yourself with. You have to be very mindful of the people that you are hanging out with, that you're spending your time with. Social networkers matter. Social networks do matter. You want to surround yourself with positive voices who will see you They'll see the greatness in you. You want to make sure that these people that you're spending all this time with, they see something, some kind of potential in you to push you into that greatness. You want to believe in you, believe in yourself, invest in yourself, um, and encourage. And you want to hang around people who's going to encourage you to take these actions, to take action on whatever it is that you're trying to be successful at. Okay, you don't need anybody holding you back on nothing. All right. And then people have stifled, if you know, people have actually stifled their dreams because of doubt or because negative colleagues and friends are all in their ear and whatever. Okay. Don't let anybody or anything stifle your dreams. Just go for it. Face your fears. And like I said, hang around motivating people who know what it is that you're trying to do and accomplish. They're not going to hate on you. They're going to give you great ideas and motivation to go. Okay. Now, the seventh lesson that she mentioned, guys, is spend more time away from the office and more time with your family. Okay. Now, work is a never ending process. We all know that. We have to work to pay bills and eat and whatever, take care of your kids, your family, whatever. But life isn't only about work, office, and clients all the time. Okay. The key point that most of us miss is that in our efforts to provide for our families, spending that precious time with them is actually more important. A lot of people don't think so, probably don't care, or even just simply don't realize it. But when you spending time with family is actually more important, according to Bridget and her research. And I also feel like that is valid because you don't want to lose yourself into working too much to where your family qualities are just dropping. So a lot of us have been guilty of that, and we do that, and that's why I'm glad I stumbled upon this article, because she's right. You can't spend all this time working, and you're just letting your family go. Okay, so clients are important, but so is your family. No one wishes on their deathbed they spent more time in the office or checking their emails. Nobody ever wishes for that when they know they're getting ready to die. Okay. And you want to disconnect regularly and experience real life with those that matter the most to you. So just, set aside time to connect with people that you care about as often as you possibly can. Okay. So here's another quote that I thought was interesting. That was matched the article was, what consumes your mind controls your life. What's on your mind? Whatever's always on your mind, that could possibly be what's controlling your life. Okay. The eighth lesson is worrying doesn't solve anything. It just magnifies fear and creates anxiety when you worry. The antidote to fear is action. Okay. So you don't let fear hold you back ever. Okay. Fear is not of God. It's nothing good about being fearful. Don't be afraid to pursue any ideas that you have or come up. Don't be afraid to pursue them. Don't worry about what others are going to think about you. If you invest in a business, become an entrepreneur, whatever you decide, who cares what somebody else think, right? When you push through the worry and the fear, you'll find that you were worried about nothing at the end of the day. So just have faith. Don't worry. And patience and persistence will open the right doors for you. Okay. So here's another quote that I felt matched with that lesson. And it's, I've had a lot of worries in my life, most of which never happened. And that's by Mark Twain. Okay. So the ninth lesson is never stop learning, never stop growing. And, personal development is continuous, guys. That's very important to grow and be able to help other people. You want to learn all you can about whatever field that you're in or what you're interested in, and also any other related fields connected to that. Learn all that you can. Become the expert that others look to for advice. So you want to just become the expert in whatever field that you're in, okay? Know all that you can. If you decide that you're done learning, you'll be left behind with, with the rate the technologies are changing. If you feel like you've learned all you can learn, you'll just you'll get ran over. The economy is slowly moving to the internet, and so is a lot of shopping and stuff where it's causing a lot of these mainstream stores to actually shut down. We've even got Payless in a lot of our local in our neighborhoods that are actually getting ready to close down in thousands of stores. So that just goes to show you. Okay, so you have to stay up to date with the current rate of technology, and to stay on top of things, you continuously learn. You'll begin to make better decisions, and you'll remain relevant in this digital era. Okay, we are living in a different digital era and an information age. So if you feel like, you know, this digital era is not for you, you'll again just get left behind. Seriously. You want to diversify your skill set so you can have income from more than one source. Multiple streams of income is where it's at, you guys. You cannot rely on one income in this day and life. Diversity just basically means you want to make or become, more of a business. You want to enlarge your territory or its range of products or field of operations where you're branching out, you're expanding, you're enlarging, etc. Okay, so you want to be able to diversify your skill set so that you're creating multiple sources of income. Okay, now the 10th lesson, and I'm going to be closing this very soon because I've got other things to do, is happiness is in the present moment. Okay. So many people say, I'll be happy when blank, you know what I'm saying? Or I won't be happy until this happened, or when I get this, I'll be happy. Well, she's saying being in the present moment is the happiest moment that you can have. Happiness seems to be somewhere in the distant future for most people, where you'll find that pot of gold, like at the end of the rainbow type situation. So none of us knows how long we actually have on this earth. So it's best to just be happy now in the moment. Okay. Um, you can actually choose to be happy now. It's basically a choice. Okay. Use your own free will to make a decision to be happy now, or you'll just walk around miserable. The truth is the rat race is never ending. Okay. So don't forget to enjoy the journey and those who are around you. Just enjoy every moment as you can. Life is full of moving targets. So the bar is constantly being set higher and higher and higher. So you want to approach every situation, no matter what, with an attitude of happiness, and you'll already be successful. I mean, it makes sense. Your success will come to you depending on your own state, if that makes sense. Okay, so here's another quote that matched that lesson. It says, crossing the finish line. The finish line is just the beginning of a whole new race. And that was by an unknown author. I'm not for sure who wrote that, but I thought it matched the lesson that was given. So this stuff is real, you guys. I've seen employees pass away because of stress at work. I've been at call center jobs in cubicles where people have had seizures right before my eyes and passed, was rushed to the hospital because they were under so much pressure, so much stress, could never take time off because of their sick time hours that were available. They didn't have vacation time, so they had to work, even if they were dealing with personal issues at home. Just terrible stuff. So you don't want to be in that situation. Um, where you're working 80, 100 hours plus a week and all that, and then now you're walking around sick and stuff, God forbid. But you have to have a work-life balance. That's very important. Okay, so money shouldn't be the only detriment factor, the determining factor when you're choosing your job or your career. It should always be about the money. You have to take in consideration everything else. Balance is about making choices and enjoying those choices. So the choices you're making, you don't enjoy them, you don't feel good, then chances are you just made a bad choice, period. So there are three aspects to our lives, and it's personal, spiritual, and professional. Those are the three aspects of all of our lives. Um, you want to have a fine balance between all three. It needs to be maintained between those three elements to lead a satisfied and contented life. Okay. Sadly, the professional mostly often occupies the driving seat of our lives. The professional aspect, And so you want to try to work towards getting that balance in between personal, spiritual, and professional. You don't want to walk around living with regrets. Stop enduring life and start living it. Stop, let me say that again. Stop enduring life and start living it. Okay? So that's it, you guys. Those are all the notes that I jotted down that jabbed at, that stuck out at me, jumped out at me. If you guys want to check out this article in depth, it's a new book out. It's called The Future of Leadership. It basically offers views about what's taking place in the world of artificial intelligence and emerging technologies of today, which I kind of briefly went over that in those lessons. It gives really valuable insights, helps you navigate the tsunami of technology that's coming our way. So you might want to grab that book. Again, let me see. It said, okay, so yeah. Brigette Hyacinth, she's the author of this book, The Future of Leadership, where she talks about the rise of automation, robotics, and artificial intelligence. Really good stuff, you guys. She's a really intelligent woman, great writer, so go check it out. And that's all I have. And I want to just make mention, since we're talking about spiritual, personal, professional aspects of our lives, you guys, a lot of people on social media have been promoting this new thing where it's like when people pass away, they're like, oh, I don't know why these people are showing fake love, and oh, because, this person didn't, so and so didn't really fuck with you, or, they weren't digging you when this person was alive. Just stop it. Do you know how ridiculous that crap sounds, where it's like, really, this person has passed away. Like, we really do not need to know who they were fucking with or who they didn't like or socialize with. The main thing is that we have to remain steadfast of our own salvation and our own journey out here. The Bible talks about the afterlife, what happens after death and stuff. And I really don't think that it should be anyone's, worry to, who messed with who was friends with who. The person is gone. Just pay your respects and let that person rest in peace. I mean, I am so sick and tired of seeing all this hoopla all on social media. Every time you turn around when someone passes away, people are posting it or whatever, and it's fine. You're giving your condolences and showing love. But at the same time, who cares who they messed with or who they didn't like? Like, who cares? Like, the journey beyond death is more serious than people think. Okay, and we really need to stop with the judgmental attitudes